Royalties of peace during the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. How are we all doing today? How are we all carrying on with the journey of peace during the storm, looking onto perfect peace? Must reach peace that has no storm first, then can see perfect peace. Yes, today is June 21 of 2023. My, how days fly by. It is my water day. You guessed right. If you did, it is my water day. Am I refreshing on water? A sip of water juice is worth it. Is worth it. Yeah, a sip of water juice is worth it. Water juice, a squeeze of ice is where we get water from. Now the drinking of the water to remind us we are water and not the thirsty one. When you feel thirsty, a sip of water juice reminds us, we are water. So why are we thirsty? Surely we are in a complicated state. When water is so limited to express the gaseous state that we are of freedom, we start with water, sipping, to understand the mind that we are, like thirsty mind. We are the mind battlefield free. Refreshing. Another refreshing video today unto us to refresh ourselves while traveling this road. Must stay restored, holding on to the hope of perfect peace, of the little we experience of this state should not keep us stagnant, but looking forward to the greatest of perfect we must become. Did I say of one of the recent videos, that when living breath is a toxic drug, it is owing to the complicated state that we are and not the living breath, because we are the living breath. When we become thirsty, but water is questionable, yet a signal of a complicated state, desiring to become of uncomplicated. Never meant to be slave, but royalty. I did enable a video on Monday concerning freeing self from mental slavery, because it was Juneteenth. Juneteenth, June 19th, explaining the freedom of the black slaves in Texas. Today, a federal holiday of it reaching its perfect expression. That started like a drop of water today, more than a cup overflowing. Are we beginning to understand black race is only a symbol of a complicated state of the mind that needs to reverse to uncomplicated? When trapped like complicated, you must seek freedom. That even when you're not aware of your complicated state, your neighbor is aware and will encourage you to wellness. Such that if it is you of wellness and the one thinking you're abnormal is the abnormal one, a therapeutic communication will reveal the complicated between the two of you and you both restore to battlefield free perfect. When good is a problem, it is not good. That is the problem, but the nature of our being. The state of our being, have we learned of the ice, liquid, and the gaseous state of complicated. All three looking onto the perfect, uncomplicated gaseous state. Understanding gas is the freest, the most free state of ice. Have we been talking about marriage throughout this month of June? The expected love that needs to be found, to be celebrated in February. This love cannot be found in February, but in June, when you're able to meet with everyone. June is a time when you're able to meet with everyone of their right mind, not in need. In February, you meet people who are in need and desperate. That will make it harder to really find love. June is the time when you really meet your lover. Because the one that comes to you is the one that have their own. The 6th month of the year, half of the year gone. Graduations, people graduating from school, fulfilled, the month of fulfillment. June, June is the month of fulfillment. Whoever you meet in June is one who is complete. Yes, there could be exceptions, but of majority, you have more chance to meet the right one. The right one only meaning one you can walk with to reach the place of perfect peace. Does not mean the one is completely free of a storm. Sometimes meeting one who has the understanding of what storm is worth it to be able to walk with each other of expected. We have talked about marriages, graduations. Have I emphasized the true meaning of lust? Is the forgotten love, the initial step of love. It's like forgetting the roots of a tree. You only find the tree drying up. Even though you cannot see the tree, you can care for it. Even if you cannot see the hidden tree, which is the root. The roots of the tree is the real tree. What you see is even the shadow of the tree. The real tree are the roots of the tree. And when you get stuck with the tree you see, before you know it, you lose everything. You lose not only the shadow, but the reality that is hidden treasure. The hidden treasure you must water, you must feed with nutrition until you become of expected is the mind. The mind. The mind battlefield free. Of every disruption, you must reverse the complicated back to uncomplicated. Marriages, we've explained of several marriages, polygamous, open marriages, same partner marriages, even the hidden marriage, between families. A family married together is a union, a matrimonial union with rights and values that must be respected. Married to your child, the one you work with, you're bonding with, is one you've married, one that you've dedicated your life to be with them forever. The difference between siblings relationship and parents and sibling and child relationship is that siblings hope to part one day, but parent and child, they don't hope to part one day. Though we have this myth that a child must grow up and leave the house, but deep in the heart, the parent knows it doesn't sound right. Because wherever that child is, your heart is with that child. Siblings are very free to leave each other without worrying about each other that much like parent will worry about a child. Siblings know they have their own life to fulfill, but parents know they have their child and their life to fulfill. The marriages that we make of fulfillment until death do us part, until this physical life is past, is what we mean by to death do us part. It's the same relationship we have with a child, the bonding with a child you're married to by nurturing in the womb and out. It's a relationship that can never die. That even when we say physically parting, we do not part at heart. Now, we must understand that this making of a child is only an additional piece of the body that we have to take care of. That when you're not even married to your own self, you misunderstand the meaning of matrimonial relationship. Till death do us part, till the physical gives way. Our flesh is our partner, is our spouse. We do not consider it living the way it's supposed to. It's like a symbol of lust. It's like the flag of lust. Some even devote themselves so much onto their partner than their body, thinking that they are loving, but rather a self-sacrificing is hurting even the partner because it makes the partner look like a wicked one, maybe ignorantly, not seeing that you're breaking yourself for them, are others viewing them like a terrible partner. They need to first comprehend self, value yourself, look good. Do not look exhausted, this untidy because you're trying to satisfy someone else. You have to be able to look good, like the good that you're trying to express. Your best is worth it. Your best is worth it. Healthy mind. Healthy mind comes with understanding self. On going through Facebook, I did get to a very interesting post of how we express love today. It's what I had also believed in, that of a greater mind today am I trying for us to understand where we fall short, like a blindfold could mislead us. Holding on to these myths of yesterday, should be by enabling lessons so that they can be a blessing. Not to reject them, not to forget them, but to understand what was missing, like a holy grail upside down, must be reversed upright. Out of experience and our surroundings and listening to each other, we have been able to pick out some holy grails upside down. There is this myth that when a child sees both parents kissing and romancing each other, very mildly at least, gives the child confidence. And when they're able to do it even outside, for others to see what brought them to this world, the kind of love that brought them to this world, makes the child feel fulfilled and a closure of belonging. I also had that belief when I had my children. Felt like when the children see you doing the healthy romance, gives them hope and confidence that their parents are okay and their foundation is expected. Their foundation is expected. When a child is trying to build their mansion of self, they always want to look at the foundation. Are my parents really giving me the hope of a mansion worthy? Children rely on parents' relationship to build their mansions. No matter what you try to tell them, they rely on that they see of their parents that is healthy to hold on to. And whatever you tell them that is healthy is what they want to build on. Am I trying for us to understand that this aspect of enabling this romantic side of parenthood in front of a child is very, very complicated. It's very complicated, and with time, a regret with time destroys. Even though at the moment they see it like beneficial, with time it is devastating because you never want to see your child being hurt. You never want to give your child a knife that will bruise the child's hand. If you understand me, you never want to put a knife in a child's hand. A blindfold, but the truth that romance, expressed complicatedly, breaks us into pieces. When the child we even have is more like a heart out of the chest. Would you want to really express relationship, parent relationship to a child of such a manner? There are many ways you can make the child understand that the foundation that they come from is what to build upon. But they're not to neglect themselves, but feel confident. Some fall before they wake up and try to build on their own. But first, must respect parents. Why some have to build looking onto parents. It's not because they cannot build on their own, but it is just a matter of life expectation that a child should build on what the parents have enabled because they come from the parent. When you have a biological parent, you are obliged, you are obligated to build on what the parents have. Some children even regret having parents wanting to build their own differently, becoming at loggerhead with parents. There is a way we can enable children to feel more flexible when it comes to building on a foundation of love. What is the love that you want to build you? Should not be how your parents romance themselves before you or kissing each other, but very healthy habits that you can carry on with without feeling the need to become one day romantic, to be able to have this greatness of love. Because of every upgrading, we begin to realize some things we're holding on to that instead break us into pieces, and we're thinking that it's putting us together. Those hidden truth that has been lies to us all along, breaking us apart. Now we begin to realize that romance is upside down, though it's beautiful, must be reversed upright. Romance is love between two partners who put themselves devoted for devoted for each other until the end. The sign, a document, and staple are forever together. Concerning things that children can learn from that are healthy from parents, things that can help, activities that can help a child understand that their parents are together and are a worthy foundation. Did I get to explain the need of cuddling? Cuddling with a child and the spouse together is very, very important for the child to know that they are one with you and of a love that does not part. It's good to always create time to cuddle with a child healthily with the other spouse. Whatever you have of your matrimonial complicated ends in your room. But before the child, there are better ways to enable the child to understand that the parents are together and are meant to be together. The child to know that the child has a healthy foundation. The cuddling together with the child, watching television. If you are the cuddling kind of parent, some parents are not cuddling kind of parents. You could have a very big blanket or sheet that or bedspread or big throw, a large throw that all of you can sit in your own seat and have the throw go all around you, go over everyone. And the throw becomes like the cuddling hand. That goes for a big family. Cuddling is very important. Being together, not eating together. Eating together is somehow sometimes difficult because people work different schedules. But at night, when you all are all in the house, what can you do that is healthy? Cuddling, having this big throw blanket that you can all share, even if sitting in your own seat that you all can share, or even if everyone have their own, the same color. Another is having them to hear your heartbeat, having every child to hear your heartbeat with the mother on your chest is very, very important. Bonding with each child. Every child have their turn to sit and listen to your heartbeat with the mother on the chest helps the child understand that the foundation is strong, you can build. Such that even if you are not present, that heartbeat keeps all of you together. Everyone taking turn. Some parents can even make the child be the one to sit, and the parent, both parents, sit are able to listen to the heartbeat of the child. Little moments that keeps us fruitful and faithful unto each other. That gives us hope when we step out the next day. Of I have a background, of I have a foundation. Some children really need that. Do not say, oh, your friends are out there able to stand by themselves. What about the orphans? You cannot compare children that way. You'll be surprised of your own growing that way will connect with another that has been alone forever in that manner, and they rejuvenate like unbelievable. Some children grow alone all their lives to meet their partners, their cuddling partners at a very interesting age, and they regain all that they have lost. Some children grow like caregivers, others grow like a need. When you care for a child, you teach the child how to care. The child becomes a nurse, and the other, in need, regains health, and they all become nurses unto each other. Healthy relationship has nothing to do with complicating the base of humans. It has to do with the heart. It has to do with the heart in the chest. It's time for us to really reorientate ourselves so we can heal from this mental slavery. Why are some feeling devastated, devastated of a sudden after having a partner and becoming romantic to the point of friction between each other? Realizing after meeting with each other, after an intercourse, you begin to feel different. The relationship begins to fail or fade when there are better options we can work with to keep our relationship strong. Do you still love me? My heartbeat. What will make you have confidence that you can build trust with me? Heartbeat. How we cuddle. Some things we do between us that is spatial must not be intercourse, but keeps us close to each other, gives us a closure, aware that what a child sees you agree with is what they want to agree with. That when they agree with you romancing each other that way, even though they know it's not beneficial for them at that moment being a child, they are keeping it at the back of their mind to be able to use it tomorrow. A recorder to play tomorrow. That when the time comes and they want to have that relationship and you being skeptical of who they're trying to get with jeopardizes what they learn from you. Like if what you were teaching me is what I cannot apply with anyone that I want to be with, what was the point teaching me that? Positive closure is very important in a child's life. Giving a child hope, a positive closure starts from childhood, starts early ages, starts in the early ages of a child. Please, let us think about it. It's very, very important to keep a healthy family. Is keeping a healthy mind. Understanding that relationship has nothing to do with a complicated romance. True romance is the cuddling together, of the best the flesh can handle without breaking apart, without falling into pieces. We must understand the romance of the physical world, different from that of the abstract world. We must be able to understand romance of the concrete expression, different from that of the abstract. The abstract, water, in the gaseous state, fuses and nothing happens to the gaseous state of fusing. But of the liquid and ice, pieces and storms, we must know the limit. It's time to start expressing the limit that the physical state can express of romance. Correcting our myths is not rejecting them, but advancing them, upgrading them. Having iPhone 5 and today iPhone 17 does not cancel Apple, but rather appreciates Apple upgrading. Emancipating self from mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery is very, very important, starting with child upbringing, especially with love. Love is the greatest secret of the mind, not only of the heart, but of the mind, that we must reflect upon of expected, so that the children can be raised healthily. Peace steals the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace. Must we understand that whatever is alterable, whatever changes, does not exist. Therefore, what does not exist is what actually exists. The unchangeable is what you don't see, that has no taste, that has nothing to do with the five senses. If you smell something and cannot see it, it exists in the form of a smell. It's physical. If you taste what you don't see, it exists of the taste, of the tastable. What does not exist is what you don't feel, you don't taste, you don't see, you don't hear it, you don't smell it. Use all the senses that you have, the six senses or whatever sense. You have no emotions towards it. What is happiness? Is the healing of sadness. What is true state of perfect peace? Is unseeable, is unnoticed, is perfect. There's a reason why a baby, peaceful sleep, is when the baby's face is normal. When the baby is smiling in a dream, you should be worried about what if it's a frown. The grimacy of the face or a smile. When a baby smiles in a dream, you want the baby to keep smiling and not frown. What is a laughter? Is the cure of mourning, groaning, crying. Perfume corrects a stingy smell, but fresh air needs no. Let us reflect on mental stability. today, after understanding slavery is the one who enslaves. If you're the one slave, you are the healer. Must be of expected. Mind encouraging wellness. You will not be angry if you know who you are, instead the master of healing, the master of freedom is the one enslaved who knows the one who enslaves them is the one enslaved. The master of freedom is the one called a slave, but who knows the slave rather is the one who enslaves. Such a one approaches the slaved one with wisdom. How do you approach your patient? A baby will do better than us who have been complicated. But every endeavor is worth it. Every endeavor is worth it to be a better master of freedom. Thank you for listening to the Royalties and stay tuned for next Wednesday. Have a beautiful refreshing of the mind. Peace steals the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace.